Welcome into the show. This is Purple Daily. Phil Mackey, Judd Zulgad, Declan Goff, and you can find Purple Daily on Apple, Spotify, and ScoreNorth.com and the free-to-download Score North app. You can also find our ugly faces on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, youtube.com/Purple Daily Podcast, where we're talking Vikings every single day. And we appreciate those of you who have subscribed to that channel and also who have given us a 5-star rating and a positive review on Apple Podcasts. Gentlemen, are you guys ready to make some predictions here?
Mm-hmm.
Football.
Oh, yeah.
Football predictions.
Football, baby.
You ready for this?
Football furniture, football predictions. So much football.
On every Wednesday episode, so Write That Down has been a staple on the Mackey and Judd show for a number of years, and it will remain a staple on Mackey and Judd, but we are spinning off. We are expanding the brand, so to speak, because we are the only sports show in America that keeps track of our predictions and holds each other accountable. And so every Wednesday, also on Purple Daily, you can find football-centric Write That Down, where we keep track of not batting averages and home runs, but we have tweaked it to be completion percentage. And I know we settled on touchdowns, but I almost feel like it needs to be Hail Marys. We can debate that. Is it a touchdown or a Hail Mary if you predict something that's like, way over the top? I don't know. I'll leave it as touchdowns for now, and then we can maybe tweak
either
it
one
as
is
we
fine
go.
with me.
Okay, because you hit 400 in the baseball version of this, Mackey and Judd.
Yeah, different ball
mash.
game though here, kid. Different ball game, John Elway.
Nope.
You can't be just deciding who you want to play for and what you want to do.
Why not? He did.
Okay.
We'll start with touchdowns and we'll go from there.
Didn't like the Baltimore Colts. That's fine.
Let's fire this
Most
up.
make predictions and then never admit they're wrong. Yeah, that's not Mackey and Judd. This is the place where we just totally own our horrible predictions. Write this down. And eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Write that down. It's Write That Down. Write it down. You like writing things down. With Mackey and Judd.
Look at that. Just over-the-top production.
That production.
In your face.
This is an incredible day of production work.
Yes, we thank our guy, Justin Dove, up in Newfoundland. That's right. We've got people all over the globe that work for Purple Daily.
Probably a big hockey fan.
Great. Yeah, he is. I think he likes some other weird, like...
Hold on.
Wrestling?
Yeah, like wrestling or something.
He's probably a lacrosse guy.
Just look at him. Yeah. So here's how Write That Down works. 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. That's the main rule. And if they're only like loosely football related, that's okay. It just has to fall sort of in the football lifestyle realm of predictions. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And if you want to be part of the segment, we bring listeners and viewers into the show every single week so that you guys can also make predictions. And you can just go on Twitter and either DM me at Phil Mackey or Declan at Dex's Tweets, and we'll get you scheduled. I think we've got some openings still in like March. But we'll fill out
we got
the calendar.
We have a little bit of openings in February, March. Yeah.
So, yeah, we got some. I'm still waiting on a couple replies that I've floated some Feb dates to. But like we've got openings. You can jump in if you want to participate and go on the record. So ordinarily we do a fairly lengthy accountability session. But because this is a new segment, we only really have like 1 or 2 things that have come off the board so far. So as we rack up predictions, more things come off the board. Probably wrong. So this is a very quick accountability session. Judd, you had nothing come off the board. I had nothing come off the board. Declan had nothing come off the board.
Listeners?
But the listeners did.
Oh, Kip.
Because Kip predicted Ohio State will upset Alabama by 3 scores.
Oh, okay.
Oof. That didn't quite happen.
Hey.
Didn't quite happen. And so the stats are pretty basic right now as we start this segment. All of us have 0 completions and all of us have 0 touchdowns, but this is just the second week of this. So this will grow over time. This will grow over time. So
it'll grow all right.
It'll probably stay closer to 0% actually. So, all right, let's get Spencer in here. He is the guest listener predictor. Spencer, you got your Vikings hat on. You got your Vikings beard.
Yes,
Are you ready to make some predictions here?
Let's do this.
Are you what's your approach? Are you throwing the ball down the field, or are you checking down like Christian Ponder? Like, what's your strategy here today?
Well, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
We can. Yep.
Okay. Actually, I live in Vegas, lifelong Vikings fan, so I got 3 2-team parlays, if that's okay.
Love it. Oh, it's great. The Vegas guy bringing some parlays.
Mackey loves this.
So here's how this works. We're going to start with Spencer, go to Judd, Declan, back to me, Phil. We're going to make 3 trips around the room. So we'll start with your first prediction, Spencer.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Fire away.
All right. No particular order on these. My first parlay is the Vikings are going to bring in Doug Peterson as the offensive coordinator.
Whoa.
All right, dude.
And then
dude.
my second part of the parlay is Everson Griffin comes back to the Vikings.
You know, I think that's even more of a long shot after what he tweeted about Kirk Cousins last weekend. And then he apologized
was just the
for
truth.
making Kirk feel bad.
It was just the truth.
So that's a parlay. Let's hold on this Doug Peterson front. That had not entered my consciousness because we already kind of talked about Clint Kubiak, but I kind of love that idea.
Me too.
I think Doug's going to get a job, though, head coaching job.
Really?
I think someone's going to
so.
snap him up. Yeah.
I feel like he needs a year to cool down.
Won a Super Bowl 3 years ago, though, man.
But then he just
right.
like completely derailed the franchise.
Yeah, but but I
he
think
burned like every
Philadelphia's
relationship.
I think they're dysfunctional too. I'm just saying,
Sure.
I could see him getting a job.
But
But it's a great prediction. I love the prediction.
And maybe he's blameless, but like by the end of his run, he had essentially destroyed the relationship with the franchise quarterback and the general manager.
Yep.
So isn't he the common denominator? And just
I think the
maybe just
GM
needs
is a
year?
little bit clueless too. And Zim will say just one request, Doug: run the ball constantly.
Yeah, because that's exactly how the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
All I want to do is run, Doug.
All right, over to Judd Zolgad.
That is tough to follow up because that was a hell of a parlay.
That's great. I love it.
I'll keep it simple as possible and go with this weekend. The Chiefs will beat the Browns by at least 14 points.
Okay.
So
What's the spread on that?
So the Chiefs are going to,
Touchdown?
it's probably like 7, but the Chiefs will beat the Browns by at least 14 points on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay. Here for. I think the Browns magic carpet ride might run into a bit of a
Oh,
snag here.
yeah. I'm be shocked if it
We'll
didn't.
see. All right, Declan, your first prediction.
All right, similar to Judd, but I'm going to loop these two teams together. Just the Chiefs and the Bills will both win their divisional round matchups. So I'm going to loop both of them together. That'll be the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs and Bills will both win their divisional round matchups.
Oh, it'd be fun.
Super fun
Yeah,
AFC
I can't
Championship
wait.
game. Yeah, that would be amazing. All right, write this down. Vikings will sign Joe Thuney in free agency.
All right.
They'll have to clear some room. They're going to have to compete with other teams, but I think they understand just how important it is to go get somebody who knows what they're doing at left guard. It's going to help your center. It's Kirk Cousins' blind side. Up the middle pressure is a disaster for non-mobile quarterbacks. Just go spend money on a guy who knows what he's doing, and that would be Joe Thuney, the best available left guard in NFL free agency. Spencer, your second prediction.
All right, my second one is I'm going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. The Bills are going to beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. And to throw a little nugget, Vikings fans, sorry, but Stephon Diggs is your Super Bowl MVP.
Wow.
That's a home run.
Oh,
Dude. Dude, Spencer is not here to mess around.
I love it,
Spencer's here to chew bubblegum and make home run predictions, and he's all out of
all
bubblegum.
Vikings fans are very upset right now, too. That won't
Sorry.
happen. Diggs isn't being
Honest-
traded even.
Honestly, that's going to be a Vikings worst matchup because either the Bills win and Diggs wins MVP or the Packers win and Rodgers probably wins MVP. So
Yeah.
it's going to be some
Exactly what I
salty
was
Vikings
thinking.
fans.
Former Viking or a future Viking?
That's right.
Spencer, do you root for Stephon Diggs?
I don't hate him, but he's in a good spot with Buffalo right now, honestly. I mean, it worked out for the best.
Yeah. And I mean, the Vikings are fine. Like, Justin Jefferson is just as good maybe as Stephon Diggs if they used him in the same way.
It's not a rag on Spencer, but I love the way he phrased that because like people say this all the time. It's kind of like an ex, like, well, I don't hate my ex, but I'm glad she's in a good spot now.
I don't hope that she gets T-boned by a Metro Transit bus,
but I'm glad she's happy now.
Super Bowl MVP, man. That's a good one.
I love it.
Write this down.
All right, back to Judd.
Ben Roethlisberger has played his last game for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger, off the record, he needs to retire. I don't think he will, but just the write that down portion for the football-centric show is he has played his last game in Pittsburgh.
You guys, did you see sad Ben Roethlisberger on the bench?
Yeah,
crying
well,
after the
yeah.
game was over.
Brian.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
felt
God.
terrible for him. He's had a nice career. Go away.
Sad Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, really good
You
guy.
can't throw
too.
the ball anymore.
All right, back to Declan.
All right. There will be a credible report of the Vikings having interest in Brian Schottenheimer, former Seahawks offensive coordinator.
I love how the list of offensive coordinator names now, we've expanded it by 2 in this segment, and it was already like 8. So Mike Zimmer is just going to be sifting through all these guys.
Gary, we need an answer.
I think he's probably given them the answer, right? I don't think old Gary is just going to take 6. Is Gary Kubiak the Brett Favre of assistant coaches at this point?
Let's put the pressure on him. Gary, we need a damn answer right now.
Do I want to coach?
Maybe.
Write this down.
Do I want to come back? I don't know.
All right, write this down. This is going to be bad news for Vikings fans who are interested in Deshaun Watson, but Deshaun Watson will be traded to the San Francisco 49ers. That's right. Deshaun Watson.
Did you read that tie-in somewhere, or is that just a guess?
Just a guess. Deshaun Watson will be traded to the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
And I'll just say in 2021, I'll say before the start of the regular season, just to put an end date on it. Yeah, this is just San Francisco, when they get guys back and guys healthy, if you were to just take Jimmy Garoppolo, move him out, which they can, and put an awesome quarterback in, they are the Super Bowl favorites, I think. Like they had a multiple touchdown lead in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
QB plays here.
I know.
I
they
mean,
love
come
Kirk.
on.
They love Kirk.
Come on, what are you doing to us?
Listen, they love Kirk until they saw Deshaun Watson poolside.
Now Kyle's still saying Kirk's my boy. Kirk's my guy.
Write this down.
All right, I think we're back to Spencer's final prediction here, right?
Yep. Oh, you just
we lost Spencer.
Just a little bit there.
Okay, we'll put him we'll put him to the back of the line there.
Do you want to go to me next?
Yep, we'll go to
Judd Zilgat.
That's cool.
All right, my final football to write that down. Carson Wentz will be the opening day starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles next season.
All right.
He won. Doug Peterson's lost. He's been fired. And with his contract, it's hard to trade him. I believe that Doug was probably fired because they paid Carson Wentz, and then they're like, but we're not starting him now. And the people that run the team said, hold on a second, that makes no sense. So Carson Wentz will be the opening day starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
So would you have, if given the choice, say, listen, this is just an irreparable relationship and one's got to stay, one's got to go. Would you have tried to shop Carson Wentz for a 6th round pick or whatever a team would give you for that contract?
I'd probably fire the coach too.
See, man.
I'd probably fire the coach too because
I probably would too.
Because if you trade him, you have to bite the bullet on that contract and take a huge cap hit. I'd probably fire Doug. I mean, Doug didn't have a good year.
So Jalen Hurts is just a backup now, or do you try to trade him for a? Would somebody
That's
give up a
question.
1st round pick for Jalen Hurts?
I don't know.
Would you trade the Vikings 14th pick for Jalen Hurts?
No, I love Jalen. No.
Yep.
Absolutely not. You can't do that.
Sure, I can. I just did. It's done. It's done. It's done.
You think like Josh Rosen, a 9th overall pick, got like what for a 3rd or a 4th? Do you think Jalen Hurts?
But Josh Rosen didn't do anything on the field.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts showed you on the field what he can do.
Like,
dude, he's your guy.
He is my guy.
Jalen Hurts does not intrigue you for the 14th pick.
No,
it intrigues me.
No.
It at least intrigues me.
I'd swap first.
So would you rather? Okay, with the 14th pick, would you rather draft BYU kid Zach Wilson?
BYU kid. 9 days.
But you've never seen him play.
Yeah. Trey Lance? I mean, what the hell are you talking about?
In college, you saw him play.
1,000% BYU kid.
So wait. So you don't think that what Hurts showed us translates to a season of productivity? I mean, he can do a ton of things that you want quarterbacks in today's game to do.
And he makes nothing.
That's intriguing. I would not shut your question down, Phil.
He makes less than Zach Wilson will. Because Zach Wilson's going to be more highly paid as a 1st round pick.
No way, though. Give me the BYU.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Give me the BYU kid.
All right, we're back to Declan here, I think, right? Final prediction.
We'll get Spence back on here. The Vikings, speaking of 1st round picks, the Vikings will not draft a defensive lineman with their 1st round pick.
Okay.
And I want to press to say my bacon here. Their first round pick in the event they come back in to the draft first round. So their first round pick will not be a defensive lineman.
You're learning how to play the game. Learning how to play right that now. Yeah. That's one of the things for those of you who just watch Purple Daily and are new to the segment. Specificity is your friend in this, or sometimes it can be your enemy.
Or it can be your enemy.
Yeah.
And Zim right now is saying we are taking a damn end or 3 technique.
I think Judd and I both predicted that they would take interior defensive linemen in our 5 moves they should make episode yesterday. All right, here's my final prediction, and this is going to be another one that just probably sits wrong with Vikings fans, but my premise here is I think the Rams are going to give the Packers a major run in that game this weekend. I think The Packers have trouble with hard-nosed teams that have great defensive line. Sometimes, especially with Bakhtiari out, like they just sometimes get punched in the mouth and then go into the fetal position.
Yep.
You look at the teams that they lose to the last couple of years, and the Rams kind of fit that profile.
The quarterback hates it.
Yep. But ultimately, I think Aaron Rodgers will prevail. So I'm going to say the Packers will complete a fourth quarter comeback victory over the Rams. It'll be what I'm trying to say is this will be a sweat for the Packers.
So the Packers are down.
Ultimately,
the Packers are down going into the final quarter.
They will be losing in the fourth quarter at some point.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
All right.
And Aaron Rodgers will prevail, and they will win that game.
Okay.
So write that down.
Okay.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Spencer, close it out here. Your final prediction.
Sorry, guys, having a little connection issues here.
It's all good.
All right. My last one is somehow, some way, the Texans are going to move back up into the first or second round. The way you do that is Deshaun Watson's going to get traded to the Bears. And I just seen a report that they just brought back Nagy and Ryan Pace for next year.
Mm-hmm.
So my prediction is Watson to the Bears and Texans move up and get that first round draft pick back.
Wow. Amazing.
Interesting.
Spencer, you know how to play the game. You are definitely a master of write that down predictions. We'll see if they turn out for you. So thanks for jumping on and thanks for being part of the show. Since you have this platform, is there anyone in your life you would like to thank that got you to this point?
Honestly, just you guys. Honestly, I love listening to the show. I'm a busy person with my job and stuff, so listening to you guys gets me through the day.
You're awesome.
Right on, man.
Thank you very much.
Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer.
Appreciate it, dude. That's Spencer. If you want to be in the mix, just shoot me a DM at Phil Mackey on Twitter or
Slide
Dex's
right in.
tweets.
Just slide right in.
DMs have never gotten me in trouble. So yeah, go for
You
it.
up? You up? I want to be on. Write that down.
Yeah.
Skull? Question mark?
Do you skull?
Do you skull?
You skull?
Do you skull? Are you skulling right
You
now?
skulling?
Hey, we have breaking news as we sit here and we record. I'll pop this off the screen. We have breaking news. Declan, you just sent us a text,
Yeah.
so go ahead, deliver the
I will
goods.
throw it up here too on our video screen as well. But sounds like George Paton will be finalizing a deal, a 6-year deal to become the Denver Broncos'
Wow.
next general manager.
For the record, because it's a name that I've only read in my whole life. Is it pronounced Peyton?
Peyton, excuse
George
me.
Paton.
Okay. Wow. So,
So Rick loses his right-hand man after all of these years.
yeah, so George Paton's been part of this front office for a long time, and he hasn't gotten a ton of pub because I think in order, the people behind the scenes with the Vikings that get pub are Rick Spielman. Rob Brzezinski probably gets even more pub just because he's the capologist
George
guy.
gets almost no pub.
But George
Besides
he's been right there helping build rosters, and teams have made runs at him. The Jets, other franchises have looked to hire him going back years. And
Niners
he
a few years back.
Yeah, and he has consistently said no, not the right fit. But according to Adam Schefter, the Vikings lose one of their really bright front office minds here that has helped build. Now, some people are going to say, well, I mean, how bright can he be? The Vikings missed the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years, but he's a resource for Rick Spielman, and this is definitely a loss for that front office.
And now we're about to find out if he can find a quarterback. We are about to find out if, broken off from Rick and Mike, if he can identify a QB. Because amazingly enough, John Elway couldn't.
No.
Like he went and signed Peyton. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But one of the great quarterbacks of all time, in the end, actually could not identify a young QB. And now my question is, free of the potential chains of Spielman and Zim and the Vikings, can George Paton find a quarterback?
Doesn't that tell you in and of itself the fact that one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, a guy with a howitzer for an arm, a guy who was mobile in his prime, and a guy with great leadership, like everything you could possibly imagine, John Elway had throughout the 80s and the 90s for that era of football.
Yep.
That if that guy has trouble, if it's a coin flip, should we draft this guy or this guy? And even he can't pick heads or tails.
Yep.
And we sit here, and I'm not saying that Rick doesn't deserve some criticism for like the Christian Ponder pick, but we sit here and we pile on guys like Rick Spielman and other franchises, and the Bears and them whiffing on, them deciding that Mitch Trubisky was their franchise quarterback. Like, it's such a crapshoot. And Josh Allen was brought up in Write That Down. This is why I just sort of give up when it comes to trying to evaluate college quarterbacks. So Josh Allen played 2 full seasons at Wyoming in 2016 and 17.
Yep.
So he ain't exactly playing top-notch college competition. He's just playing in a lesser conference.
Like Wentz was.
Yep. And yep.
Good attributes, but his competition's not great for sure.
And in Josh Allen's final season as a junior at Wyoming,
yep.
Again, this is against inferior competition. Now, he also had inferior receivers and plop him in Alabama's system, and it's probably a little bit different. But 56% completions, 6.5 yards per attempt, which is paltry.
That's bad.
16 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. The year before that, he threw 15 interceptions
and couldn't hit
for Wyoming
at one time. The broad side of a barn.
Right. But obviously, the things that he possesses. So you look at the stats, and you would say, okay, that's not ready-made to transition to the NFL. Like there's work that needs to be done there. It's the things that you can't see on a stat sheet that you have to be able to quantify in like a workout meeting or a 15-minute session at the combine. Okay, how much does he obsess over being a great player? What's he like leading a group of 10 other guys in the huddle or 52 other guys in the locker room?
Yep.
And I almost feel like those areas, like Tom Brady is off the charts in those areas. But all the other stuff that you would measure at the combine or on film was probably lacking at Michigan, right? So I don't know how you do it, but you have to figure out how obsessed a guy is and how much he wants to be an elite quarterback. And Josh Allen clearly wants to be. And, maybe Josh Rosen didn't. I don't know what the difference is between those two guys, but it's a freaking crapshoot.
Well, plus, though, I think the most important thing is if you're going to make the commitment to draft the kid, the development patience angle has to be huge. And what's the problem now? You throw kids in year one. I mean, I will say this for the Packers. The Jordan Love approach, which is the exact same approach that the Packers used with Rodgers behind Favre, is probably brilliant. Now, the problem is the contract is ticking, and Jordan Love's greatest value will always be when he's on the current contract.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, when I saw Allen play here when the Bills upset the Vikings in 2016, correct? Like he could run, he had athletic skills, but he was so far from polished. And the question then becomes, what's the team's patience for that player to develop him, hone him? So I think it comes down to 3 things. One is I think guys like Elway and Spielman are looking for quarterbacks that fit a bill that doesn't fit now. So I think that they say, Kirk Cousins looks really good. And Kirk Cousins has a skill set that if you plopped him into 1996, he'd be outstanding. He's still good, but he would be. So I think the problem is the skill set that they are looking for doesn't necessarily translate to where this league has gone, which is largely what? The college game. The college game won. The college game. I used to say, how do you evaluate quarterbacks in college to transition to the pros because the pro game is different? It's not now. It's changed. So I think that's problem 1. Problem 2 is patience. When do you decide that you took a chance on a guy and it's ripcord time because is he not going to develop or are you bailing? I mean, the Rosen thing amazed me. You gave him 1 year and basically everyone in this league said, we're done.
Yeah.
1 year.
And I think that did you watch Josh Rosen on that Trent Dilfer special when he was in high school, like 5 or 6 years ago? Or that must be like 7 years ago now.
Oh,
it was the Elite 11, I want to say is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And he was argumentative with the coaches there. And he was like arguing with John Gruden about the playbook and stuff.
And that was his problem.
And Gruden's like, dude, you're super talented, but like you're a 17-year-old kid arguing with a guy who has a Super Bowl ring right now. I mean, Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl ring, but like the defense won it. But you get what I'm saying.
Yes,
right?
Yes. And then the third thing is, and this is the thing that I think it's tough for teams to get their mind around because it seems like a waste, but it's not. It's how many shots do you take? And I would take a ton of shots.
Me too.
Like,
most important position.
Like if Philadelphia came to me and proposed a Hurts trade, I'd be really tempted, not because I think he's going to be great, but because I think he has the potential to fit what QBs need now. And so if you just take shots, if you take legitimate QB shots once every, let's say 4 years, right? 5 years. Like your chances are you might get fortunate, but you might not.
Yeah.
But if I all of a sudden start to say, screw it, I'm going to actually take some shots here. Eventually one might click because Phil, you're right. The judgment is going to be flawed at times. The question becomes then, do you have the intestinal fortitude to get back on the horse and say, okay, wrong there, but we could be right here?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Jalen Hurts is a really interesting case in that there are accuracy issues for sure. There were in college. That was the knock on him. That's why he wasn't a first-round pick. That, like, can he accurately make the throws that you just are just like built into the playbook that you have to make? The out route 15 yards down, like, can he make those? And there's questions just based on his performance in the last month and a half as to whether or not he can do that. And I am not saying that, like, he's destined to be a great quarterback because we don't know. We don't know. But I think the more that guys come into the league at that position and can move around and can avoid up the middle pressure and can extend plays and be more improvisational, the more we see guys like that coming in the league, the more the bar gets raised for what your skill set has to be to even just be an average quarterback.
Correct.
So it's actually kind of a testament to Kirk Cousins and his accuracy and ability to throw the ball down the field without much mobility, that he's able to still be in the conversation as like a fringe top 10 quarterback. Because he's very, like, Kirk Cousins is much more accurate and precise as a traditional passer than Jalen Hurts is. But if you're asking me, like, gun to the head, what skill sets would you really want to have long term? I would sacrifice some accuracy, not all accuracy. I would sacrifice some accuracy for mobility because I think that allows you to do more offensively and it allows you to score more touchdowns in situations where a play might die.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, Kirk Cousins has been good and Kirk Cousins put up some great numbers this year. But when the game's on the line and the Buffalo Bills are in a tight matchup in the playoffs and it's the fourth quarter and an offensive lineman gets bowled over because guess what? That happens. Like, that happens. Josh Allen ejects from the pocket, flushes to his right, and throws a ball 40 yards down the field for a completion, and now the Bills are in business. Like, that's the difference in some of these games.
If I could put Kirk Cousins' arm on Jalen Hurts' body, I'd be in great shape.
Oh, man.
I'd be in phenomenal shape.
Just the arm.
You'd have Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be in, but I mean,
Josh Allen.
But then I've got it.
Yeah.
Then I'm in great, I'm set.
Yep. And the biggest appeal for, let's say Kirk Cousins is better than Jalen Hurts. Just to be clear, like, I think Kirk Cousins is better than Jalen Hurts.
He's a better quarterback, yeah.
Yep.
I think Jalen Hurts has a little more upside because of his ability to be improvisational and extend plays. But Jalen Hurts, I don't have his contract directly in front of me here, but Jalen Hurts makes like...
It's a 4-year contract, too.
I think he makes like under $1 million.
He for sure does.
And so you're telling me, okay, I get like Kirk Cousins is going to be $31 million to the cap and Jalen Hurts is $600,000.
Yes.
You're telling me I get $25 million. I'm sorry. I get $31.5 million or $30.5 million to spend on Joe Thuney.
That's what I'm telling you.
And a defensive tackle. Like, that's the difference.
Jalen Hurts' base salary for the 2021 season is going to be $883,872. He's going to make over $1 million, but not by a ton in the last 2 years of the 4-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
And his base salary for 2020 was $610,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's so Declan's out on that first round pick speculation.
No way.
What do you mean? No way though? Like, be more specific. We're talking about, what we're saying is this could be a franchise quarterback. And so that's worth a first round pick. You're saying that you're out on your guy.
I'm saying that I can't give up a first round pick without also having a second round pick on numerous holes on this team. Like, if you're just swapping, let's just swap. Put Jalen Hurts right now on the Vikings. Kirk Cousins isn't on the Vikings, and you don't have a first or second round pick.
What if I could get you a second round pick back by trading Kirk to San Francisco?
A little bit. I'm a little more interested.
Well, and
that's a high draft slot for something that the Vikings have to fill multiple needs.
But I can sign guys left and right.
Yeah, then
in March I can sign guys.
Then you sign Thuney.
I've got so much money I'd burn in a hole in my pocket, Dex.
It could work.
Burning a hole in my pocket.
That's a lot to give up for
it is a lot to give up.
Has gigantic holes all around it. And I love Jalen Hurts.
Do you think so? Because I think this is a legit discussion. If the Eagles have said, listen, Doug Peterson's out, we are committed to Carson Wentz, I would think that a lot of teams are looking over there saying, oh, okay, well, What do you want for Jalen Hurts? I think teams would give up a first-round pick for what they saw with Jalen Hurts, knowing that there's some red flags.
Late first-round pick, you think?
Late.
Yeah, like the Jets
That'd
aren't
be
giving
my
up the
guess.
second pick.
Hell
for him.
no. But yeah, I think, and Dex, there was a long time where I would have completely agreed with your assessment of this, but my feeling about quarterback play and the difficulty of identifying exactly what makes a great QB now has become, it's so tough that I'm going to take as many chances on potential starting QBs as possible. But the other very important thing is, if I do that, I probably need an offensive-minded coach who gets that. And that's the problem here, right?
What if you traded for Jalen Hurts and then hired Doug Peterson as your offensive coordinator?
Reckless speculation.
And there's no salary cap on assistant coaches. I'm giving Peterson $1.5 million.
Reckless speculation.
I love that discussion, though. I think that's a great discussion on Hurts.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can keep we let's put this in our back pocket. There's more to come here. I would not be surprised if Kirk's name, even though I think the Vikings are going to roll with him, I would not be surprised if his name popped up here. Like Denver? We've been talking about the San Francisco
Are you calling the Broncos now? Are you calling George?
How much
George, you want him back?
Do we have any idea in terms of like the pie chart of influence in who wanted Kirk the most 3 off seasons ago?
No, I don't know.
What George Paton's
My guess is
would
it was Rick, and Rick. And the Wilfs then said, yeah, that's great.
If you're saying a first-round pick for my guy, Drew Lock, then maybe I'm not.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
let's
just
end the episode.
This episode's
that
was
over.
disgusting.
No.
That was a disgusting comment.
We will continue our How to Fix the Vikings series tomorrow on Purple Daily. And again, if you could click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and give us a 5-star rating and a positive review on Apple, it would help spread some love and introduce the show to more people. Thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow.